All right, welcome to This Week in Jackson County Schools. I'm Pamela Stone, and we're really excited to have you here with us. This week, we are talking to Mr. Rob Paradise. He is from North Jackson High School. Welcome. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you.
We appreciate it. All right, so you are at North Jackson High School. You are 9 through 12.
That's correct.
School, and you said you have about 470 students. That's quite a few
correct.
students.
It is, yes.
Especially for Jackson County, because some of your schools are kind of small.
That's right.
I mean, some of your K through 12s aren't even that big.
That's
so,
true.
All right, well, tell everybody a little bit about yourself, your background, where you came from.
All right. Again, my name is Rob Paradise. I am actually born and raised in Jackson County.
Okay.
And
That's pretty neat.
It is. I've worked in the Jackson County schools. This is my 21st year, finishing up 21. I've worked in Jackson County as a teacher, a coach, a guidance counselor, assistant principal, and for the past 3 years, a principal.
Okay.
I've been I was a principal at Stevenson Middle School, which is a 5th through 8th grade school at Stevenson, before coming to North Jackson. I've only been at North Jackson 1 year. As a matter of fact, a year ago this month, was hired at North Jackson High School. So got 2 kids in college, so I'm married, got 2 kids in college, so needless to say, I also have a part-time job because of that.
Oh, yeah, that is true. That is true. Okay, what did you used to teach? What subject?
I've taught guidance counseling for the most part, but when I was very first hired, I taught reading and enrichment in the middle school level.
That's exciting.
Yes.
Do you like reading still?
I do.
Are you a reader?
Yes.
Most readers, once a reader, always a reader.
Yeah, that's true.
So that is true. It is even true for kids, which I think is why there's such a big emphasis on reading
Absolutely.
for kids, because once you fall in love with it, it's usually one of those life skills. All right, so tell us a little bit about your school and tell us, what makes it special, the school culture, all those kind of things.
Well, one unique thing about North Jackson High School in Jackson County in particular is that it is the only 9 through 12 high school. All other high schools are K-12, so we're unique in that aspect.
Right.
We're a relatively large school, 4A school, have, as we said, 470 students.
That's pretty good size.
And because of that, we're able to offer a lot of programs. We have for instance, at North Jackson High School, we have a band that's marches and competes in symphonic band and in marching band. We have an art program, full time, which is unique to our area as well.
Right.
We're able to offer a variety of extracurricular activities and sports, at our level. That I think is unique to us. We also serve 3 different communities, which is 2 relatively large towns in Stevenson and Bridgeport. Large towns for Jackson County,
right?
And we also serve Hollywood. So we have 3 feeder schools: Hollywood Elementary, which is a K-8 school in Hollywood. We have Stevenson Middle, which is a 5th through 8th grade school in Stevenson, and Bridgeport Middle, which is a 5th through 8th grade as well in Bridgeport. So we have students coming from 3 places, and which is a challenge, but unique again to us. So we see ourselves as kind of what unifies those 3 communities, and we like to look at ourselves that way. When they come to North Jackson, students come there, we're the chiefs, and that's what they all become eventually when they come to us.
That's cool.
So yeah, we take pride in that.
Well, that's good. I mean, it's good that you have a lot of kids, because that definitely helps.
It does provide.
Right. And the fact that you have 3 communities, and 2 of them, I mean, I'm not from there, but Stevenson.
Right.
I mean, they're fairly large, so you should have a good amount of support, community support.
We do.
Does that help? I would guess that would help with fundraising and
it does.
A little bit on financial ends. And
it does. We again, that's something that in my first year that I've been learning how to reach the community and how to involve and welcome both communities. it's a big plus, but it's also a challenge because again, you have two communities that used to have high schools,
right.
and those two high schools were combined to one. So what we want to do is to see both of those communities, or all three for that matter, all equally involved and equally supporting North Jackson High School. When that happens, that is, as you said, going to be very positive when all of those come together. So we're working toward that, learning, and myself learning how to reach out to them. I think that's one of the important things in education today is involving community, being visible in your community, students doing community service, which our students do in both communities, myself, our faculty and staff being involved in community activities. So we've done that this year, and we've already seen that pay off really well.
I think it's a big deal for really almost all the schools to have your faculty.
Right.
You know, even just, I love going to, I work here and I live here, and you know, I'm a teacher here too, and I go to eat dinner, and the kids are all really excited to see me, and
Right.
just makes them feel more homey, I guess, is kind of,
Exactly.
oh, my teacher lives here and works here and likes it, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
So it's kind of the same kind of thing.
Very
The fact
important.
that you were homegrown, I guess.
Very important.
From that location.
It does.
Sometimes I think, wow, it would be kind of cool to be where I was homegrown, which is in
Exactly.
Colorado. So it won't be happening since my husband's from here. But nonetheless, it sounds kind of cool. Okay, and so we were talking before the show that you have like a good school culture.
Correct.
And in your school culture, obviously, to have a good school culture, you have to have the leadership that goes with that. So you got some focus on that. And like, how are you going to improve that? I mean, being there a year, you're still kind of
True.
learning the ropes,
Very
what's
true.
going to work the best, what you need to change, you know. So,
Very true.
So what do you think?
Well, first of all, that's key word is learning. And anytime in your first year, you're doing a lot of that.
Yeah. Yeah, you do.
Yeah, because every school is different. Every school is a culture in and of itself, even in the same system. So
Right.
even going in the same town, you go to another school, it's a different culture. So,
It is,
part of
you're
that
right.
has been learning for me this year. But at the same time, what we believe at North Jackson High School is that you have to set expectations for your culture, even early. And if you do not set expectations as a leader, you know, you tend to see things not move forward. So what we wanted to do early on was to identify key choices that every stakeholder commits to.
Okay.
And so you'll see that as part, as soon as you walk in our door, one of the pictures I brought with me was of our lobby.
Cody,
and,
do you have that ready? Okay, so we're going to show you a
Right.
picture as soon as Cody gets it ready.
So what we do is we try to make it part of our environment. So as soon as you come in the door, you'll see 4 words that direct you to what our expectations of our stakeholders are. When I say stakeholders, we're talking
Students.
about students,
Staff.
parents, community, staff, and administrators. All right.
Okay.
So everyone involved, and everyone has key choices and key behaviors they practice. And what I tell students when they come to our school is, you're not a chief just because you enroll here.
Right.
You're a North Jackson chief when you follow these key choices. You'll see there a picture of our school. Very proud of.
That's a big front.
It is. It's
Very large.
that building on the right's our new gym. It's a 3-year-old building. The other part of the school was built in 1988. So
I still
it's-
know building.
It is.
My high school was built back like in the 60s.
Right. You'll see a picture of our staff. One of the things that we like to do is to be unified as a staff, to be seen as one, moving forward to the same goal and same purpose. So early on in the year, we came together and wore the same shirts on first day, just to kind of make that statement. But again, talking about key choices, one is a commitment. We believe that you've got to be committed. Oftentimes today, we see folks who, when things don't go their way, they may not be committed to the organization. But what we want to see is that even through the times when things don't go our way, we make a commitment to these certain key choices. So, for instance, in the lobby, you'll see commitment at the bottom of our steps.
Okay.
Then you'll see choices, and then up the steps you'll see character, and then up at the very top, you'll see that what our goal is, obviously, is that every student is a graduate. And not only a graduate, but a graduate who's prepared, either to go on to college or to go on right into the workforce. And some of those key choices that we can talk about those in more detail in a moment. But what we find is that if you are explicit about those expectations, everybody involved are more likely to follow them. And so, for instance, a key choice for students is to be on time. That's a work skill. It's a career skill.
Big work skill.
It's something that is to be on time, and then to walk into the classroom prepared. And another one is to respect teachers and staff. And also to be able to expect and look at learning as a struggle. It's a productive struggle. And if we do not look at learning that way, we tend to back off or have this what we would call a closed mindset.
I can't do it.
Exactly.
That's what I hear. I teach computer typing, and they're like, I can't do it. I'm like, you can do it.
We talk a lot about growth mindset, and if a student doesn't believe, and see learning as an opportunity to grow through that difficulty, it makes it a lot more difficult on them and on their teachers as well.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
But that's just a couple of those choices. But very important to us at North Jackson as leaders to set those expectations.
I'm assuming you mean not only staff leaders, but or principal and
right.
Do you have an assistant principal?
I do. We have
just
an
one?
Assistant, just one.
Okay, and then counselor?
We have a counselor.
So there's three basically, admin.
In the office, right.
And then
That's
the
correct.
office.
We have a secretary in the office as well.
One, did you have a bookkeeper?
One. Well, she actually does both.
Does both? Okay, so there's
correct.
basically three admin and one.
Right. And yes.
And one helper. Okay.
And we have teacher leaders, and we can talk about that maybe when we talk about extracurriculars. But it's not just administrators, but we have teachers who are leaders, and when they buy in, to be quite honest, it means more because those students see those teachers every day. They may see me in the hallway and at times in their classroom, but they see the teachers every day.
Yeah.
And the fact that they buy into this idea of setting expectations high, it means so much more.
Well, and in the end, you are making better workers for this world.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, that is so needed. And if you listen to the news and you just even listen to local community stuff, how important workers are, or workers that understand rules, guidelines, and what's needed and to do it. Even just showing up on time.
Absolutely.
Just showing up on time is a hard skill for so many adults just to get there. So we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back and we'll finish talking. We'll be right back.
Come hungry and leave satisfied at Cloud's Pizza, Highway 71 in Higdon. Cloud's Pizza uses only the freshest ingredients, and we hand toss our own pizza dough. Our pizzas are made from scratch when you order, so they're always fresh. And don't forget about our famous Sand Mountain cheese sticks. You can eat from the daily buffet or try a mouth-watering hamburger or cheeseburger. Come see your friends at Cloud's Pizza, Highway 71 in Higdon, and never leave hungry. Call ahead at 597-3100 for Cloud's Pizza. Visit us on Facebook at Cloud's Pizza and more.
Come see us at Cloud's Pizza.
Every star in the night sky is like a beautiful twinkling tax deduction. The more you find, the more money you get back, but you can't find them all unless you know where to look. That's what H&R Block Tax Pros with IBM Watson could do for you.
Did you read the script?
I'm sorry, was there a rewrite? No one...
Ooh, the Big Dipper. Dip it on in there and get a big tax refund.
Okay.
Power of H&R Block with Watson. Get your taxes won.
Georgia Northwestern Technical College is now accepting applications for classes. We offer programs in business, health, industrial, and public service at 6 campus locations with financial aid options as well. Take day, evening, or online classes to get your degree, diploma, or certificate. Apply now. Drop by one of our campuses today or check us out at gntc.edu. Georgia Northwestern Technical College. Get focused. Get hired.
Get that next new-to-you vehicle from Rayburn Cloud at Cloud Auto Sales, Alabama Highway 71 in Higdon. Right now, check out an 08 Nissan Rogue SL. Real nice, one owner, just $5,995. How about an 05 Ford Explorer 4x4 with a big V6, only $4,995. Or an 07 Buick Lucerne, real nice, leather and chrome, only $5,995. Visit Cloud Auto Sales on Facebook right now for the latest inventory at Cloud Auto Sales, Alabama Highway 71 in Higdon. 597-3273 for Cloud Auto Sales.
Score big this March. Hi, it's LeBron Clark, and the spring sales event is going on now at Mountain View Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. And right now, make your bracket choices and choose a new 2018 Jeep Renegade Sport or a new 2018 Dodge Journey SC. Your choice, only $18,888. Only during the spring sales event. Beat the buzzer and shop Mountain View Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Ringgold. We're number one for a reason.
All right, welcome back to This Week in Jackson County Schools. I'm Pamela Stone, and we are here today with Mr. Rob Paradise. I told him before we started, that's a cool name, yes. Paradise.
I get that a lot.
That is cool. I mean, Paradise, I mean, that's pretty cool.
I get that often.
And so did the teacher just call you? Because, like, as a teacher, I love last names. Mm-hmm. So if I like your last name, that's who you are. So you would have been Paradise.
Exactly.
Did the teachers call you Paradise without the first?
Actually, I've been called Mr. P.
Really?
I had a student call me one time in jest. I enjoy students, by the way. And
that's a good thing.
That's a good thing.
Good thing.
And so I often am joking and when I get an opportunity trying to connect with students. And I had a student one time call me Master P, and for some reason or another it went from Master P to Mr. P, and Mr. P has stuck. So every student I have and pretty much all teachers call me Mr. P.
Even now as an administrator,
it's just
but that is, to me, that is a term of endearment when you get just the Mr. or even the Miss. Right. And it's just the initial, that's your term of endearment.
Right.
So that's pretty good. All right, so we left off on talking about like your school culture, and then we were talking about your leadership. And so we've talked about your administration leadership a little bit.
Right.
We were going to bring up students' expectations and choices, and then parents.
Right. So. Yes, at North Jackson, we as leaders, and again, leaders can be folks other than the principal and the assistant principal. We try to when you stand up in front of a class, you're a leader. When you stand up in front of a team, you're a leader. When you have a area that you're responsible for, you're a leader.
I mean, you're right. You can be a leader of different things.
Absolutely. So, but we want to create a positive and student-centered environment. It's one of our key choices. We want to hold our students and staff accountable. It's one of our key choices as leaders is to be able to say, hey, we need to do this better. And not just say it, but follow through. And in our busy culture, honestly, that's the challenge as a principal. We oftentimes, I'm sure you heard from other principals, you're oftentimes responsible for everything from the toilets upstairs to the discipline to the attendance to different programs throughout the school.
Right.
And so follow through is a challenge. So you have to really, what I say is that what you schedule is what you value. And if you don't schedule it, it won't get done.
Right.
What you monitor is what matters. And so we try to, that's one reason we put these choices down on paper. It's one reason we send them out is because it's something that holds us accountable as well. We want to be good communicators. At North Jackson High School, we want leadership to communicate well with teachers, with students, with the community as well. Also, our faculty key choices. We want, I guess, the most important one there is that third one, talking about engaging students. It's so important for our students to be engaged, and engagement is something that we focus on when we go into a classroom. It's one of the main things we're looking for, is a student to be engaged in the learning activity. Not just sitting and memorizing facts, or not just sitting and listening to a lecture. That's all part of it. But we want somehow that student to be connected to what's going on in that classroom in a, I guess you could say, in an experiential way. Not just not just in a teacher-centered way. We like for our classrooms to be more student.
The old way we learn is kind of going out.
Sure, it is, and I like what Todd Whitaker says. He's a principal and a principal leader that I read a lot of his stuff. He says if you can make the old way engage, that's fine. And I think that's true. A lot of time in education, we tend to think there's silver bullets and silver bullet programs and silver bullet way to do things, meaning if I just plug this in, it's going to work.
Yeah, there's not. The kids change it every day.
You're right.
Every day it's a different.
Right.
It's different.
So what I believe is that's a core belief. If you can engage students in rows and teaching and lecturing, and like you said, the old way, you might can do that.
Right.
But the key is, are they engaged?
Right.
Right.
That is true. It is hard to keep. You're just thinking of, my days.
Oh yeah, it is different.
And getting so close to like spring break, it gets harder. And they're ready to go. Or like when you get back from Christmas, or there's all those. And I don't think, non-educators can really know that.
It's difficult. Right now is a tough time.
It
You're
is,
exactly right.
because they think spring break, testing, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
And the fact that there's still all this learning to do, it's like, no, wait, I got all this I still want to teach you.
It is the toughest time, I believe, right now, right when the time changes. We just gave the ACT today, as a matter of fact.
How did that go?
It was.
Is that the one where you give everyone the ACT?
Yes. In Alabama, we've had some changes.
Okay.
And that may be an understatement.
I was going to say changes?
Yeah. But we have... this year, our accountability measure for high schools in Alabama is going to be the ACT. Last year, it was the ACT Aspire, which is only given to 10th grade.
Okay, yeah. I think that's what my son took.
Yes. And this year, the Aspire, the state has done away with the Aspire, and now we've began using what we call Global Scholar, which is a way to give our students a universal screening, see where they are related to the standards,
right.
And then be able to monitor their progress throughout the year by testing them. But our accountability measure in high school is going to be our ACT. Accountability meaning that what the state uses to measure growth in our school.
Right.
Exactly, and that's. So we gave that today, and every junior, many of our juniors, I should say, not most, have already taken it. They value this test, but what we're trying to do is create a culture where all our kids do value the ACT, which is difficult, meaning that some of our students who are very capable and are planning to go on to the workforce right out of high school and not to college. The ACT is the American college test, so oftentimes it is tough to have students who are not going to college but are going to be successful to say, hey, I'm going to value this test. And
right.
I'm going to work hard to do it.
Well, and sometimes, I was just talking to a student the other day. He said that he had taken the ACT twice, and it was difficult for him.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Whereas then he took the SAT just this past weekend,
mm-hmm.
and he said it was so much easier for him.
Absolutely.
And I just think it depends on the kids.
It does.
Because one tests, they test differently, and the way they test in some of the things. It
does, and oftentimes it depends on their even how much emphasis their parents have put on the test. So
right. Well, that's true too.
Yeah. So for instance, if some parents may say, well, you're going to college, no questions asked.
You better take them all.
So you're taking it in 10th grade, you're taking it,
Right.
you're taking it multiple times.
That was my oldest son.
Exactly. And then you have some who know, again, that's not their path. So what we want to do is to get all students to value it. We do test prep. We did ACT prep this year.
During school?
During school.
That's helpful.
Yeah, and this next year we're hoping to create a class that would be ACT prep all year. So that would be something they would go to every day, and that would be new for us.
That would be good.
But it would be good.
That would be good.
It would be good.
Because, I mean, sometimes you can know everything you need to know,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just about how you take the test.
Sure.
And you do
You're
have those
exactly
kids that test taking. They can be the smartest one out there, but test taking is just nervous.
It's tough.
It's just hard for
It's tough, and it's high stakes for us.
Yeah, and that's the other
it
thing.
is.
For
us.
It's our report card.
It is our report card, and it's so difficult for teachers who I see every day work hard and do their absolute personal best to engage, and then to have someone say that we're going to judge how you're doing by one test. It's really, really, let's be honest, it's not fair, but we understand that's part of what we do as educators.
Right.
We have to be measured. Our effectiveness does have to be measured. We talked to students this week about the test, and we said, when you apply for certain jobs in life, you're going to have to take tests.
Yeah.
That's a number that somebody arbitrarily sets that you have to score here. And
Even Subway, our Subway on the back of there, it has like a little questionnaire test. There's a few questions about if somebody gave you so much change and it was a number and it was a math problem.
Absolutely.
So
everywhere you go, from nursing to working at a
Fast
factory, you're going to have to pass the test.
Yep.
So we try to look at it and get them to look at it that way. So to segue into that, one of the things we focus on this year at North Jackson High School is to emphasize career readiness. Career readiness, for instance, we have out of 470 students at our school, you're going to see around 1/3 of those go on to college. So then you're going to see a large percentage of those then have to make a decision. If I'm not going to college, 9 through 12 is my college.
Right.
In other words, it is my career prep time.
that's true.
So I have to make wise decisions. So what we've tried to do is to emphasize career choices. And we've done that a couple ways. We have a very strong tech program in Jackson County. Ernest Pruitt Center of Technology, other principals.
I've interviewed them.
Absolutely.
That would be awesome to work at.
Absolutely. So what we encourage is involvement. If you're not on that college track, even though we don't have a college track per se, but if your family and you are not planning for that,
Right.
you should be involved in some type of technical program.
Yeah, because they come out certified a lot of times.
Absolutely, and oftentimes making very good salaries.
Oh,
right
yeah.
off the bat, very good hourly wages.
Yeah, that's true.
So what we've done at North Jackson this year is invite different career representatives in. We've done a career fair, a college fair. Just like you do a college fair, we do career. We tried to take it a step further. This year we had because what we see with students is it boils down to how do my choices today connect with my job 5-10 years from now,
And then really affect my life in the future in
eventually.
20 or 30
Absolutely.
years.
So we had a speaker come in, and we had the opportunity to have this speaker because of the kindness and gift of a local doctor, as a matter of fact. Had Ryan Leaf come in and speak. Ryan Leaf is a former NFL quarterback, which is something, our school and our culture also values football.
Right.
As it's not unusual in this part of the country.
No, here in Alabama, you're right.
So he came in and spoke and talked about the choices he made in his career and how they negatively affected his life. and his story. So along with that, we had 17 different individuals from our community come in and do breakouts with our students. And their goal that day was to simply say how my choices in high school affected my career now.
And I don't think kids, and I know I didn't when I was in high school, had no clue that I really, even to think about it.
You don't. And but what we find is that students now, the job market's so competitive, especially higher paying jobs.
Right.
It's so competitive that again, if they're not, if they are, they're behind if they don't have that plan, that way of thinking in high school. So we focused on non-traditional careers. We had, for instance, a female veterinarian, a female game warden. That's very non-traditional.
That one's different, right?
We in our area we really need to see more females, more young ladies interested in STEM and
like engineering.
Science,
that's definitely a big thing.
So we had female who was an engineer, worked in Huntsville, come in and speak, who was a former graduate of North Jackson High School, and had everybody come in from social service to the district attorney, and they would come in and spend 3 different 30-minute sessions with our students so kids could choose based on their interest level, and they'd go in and listen to them. We were very proud of how that day went. It's going to be a yearly tradition for us.
So this was your first year with it?
It was, yes.
Okay.
And the response from students and community was very positive. And again, what that does for us is community involvement.
It does.
Folks come into our school, they see how respectful and prepared and interested our students are. They see our building. Right. They see our staff, our teachers, and all that does is create positive, feedback in the community.
Right.
So, very important. One of the things that we focus on that day too, and continue to focus on, is soft skills.
Those
I know if you working with students, you realize that what a premium they're at.
They are, and they're a premium for. I mean, it's cool, but they're a premium just in the job force period.
You're right.
And every student will have a job, and soft skills are needed at Taco Bell.
Yeah.
At fast food. I mean, it doesn't matter what job you have.
Yes.
Soft skills are needed. Period.
You're exactly right.
Even personal relationships.
Right.
Soft skills are needed. We're going to take a break, though.
All right.
And we'll be right back, and we'll pick that right back up. We'll be right back.
Thank you.
The Dade County school system continues to put the safety of students first. That's why the Love the Bus Elementary campaign rolls on. Love the Bus is designed to teach students the importance of safety, respect, and proper bus etiquette. As we continue to enhance efforts of safety for our students, we'd like to have you as part of our team. If you're considering a career as a bus driver, call the Dade County Schools Transportation Department at 706-657-7053 today. Part-time hours with full-time benefits as a bus driver for the Dade County school system.
Come enjoy pizza for lunch or dinner in a family-friendly atmosphere at Stevie B's Pizza in Fort Payne. Enjoy the buffet and salad bar anytime, or have a specialty pizza made to order. At Stevie B's, take advantage of Two-Stamp Tuesday for adult and senior buffets, and Thirsty Thursdays when drinks are free after 4 p.m. Take out any medium pizza weekdays between 2 and 5 for just $4.49. And on the weekends, take out any 2 large pizzas just $14.99. Book your parties now by calling Stevie B's at 256-979-1234. Stevie B's Pizza, 2200 Galt Avenue North, Fort Payne. Can you gig it? Oh, yes, you can. We know you've been waiting for a long time, and now Tennessee Valley Net is bringing it to you. Gigabit internet service now available in certain areas of Dade County. Not just fast, super fast internet service now available from Tennessee Valley Net. People are talking, I mean really smiling about gig speed internet available in limited areas from Tennessee Valley Net. Call today at 706-657-4367 or log on at tvn.net and see if gig speed is available where you are. We know you'll gig it from Tennessee Valley Net. delivering top quality primary health care locally. We are Northeast Alabama Health Services. With 7 locations, there's one near you. Scottsboro, Section, North Sand Mountain and Higdon, Skyline, Woodville, Fife, and Fort Payne. We accept Medicare, Medicaid, and of course your private insurance. If you're unemployed, low income, or have a high copay or deductible, you may also qualify for a reduced rate office visit as low as $16. Ask about our free medication program, and ladies, you may qualify for a free or reduced rate mammogram. Dental referrals for our patients with tooth removal and fillings for only $15. Putting your health concerns first, we're Northeast Alabama Health Services. Cervical cancer screenings now available at Northeast Alabama Health Services. Brown's Tire Pros knows that when you need tires for automotive service, you don't need a hassle. Brown's Tire Pros has been family owned and operated since 1994, and you'll always get friendly customer service and never be sold anything you don't need. We sell major brands of tires like Michelin and BF Goodrich. In fact, Michelin offers safe, fuel-efficient, long-lasting tires that'll keep you going for miles to come. Visit us at Brown's Tire Pros in Trenton today or online at brownstirepros.com.
All right, welcome back to This Week in Jackson County Schools. If you're just now joining us, we are with Mr. Paradise, love the name, and he is the principal of North Jackson High School. Very good. And he's about 470 students, and we've just been talking about so much. So what we're talking about recently is job skills, the ACT, and soft skills. And tell everybody out there what a soft skill is, because I don't know that when we were younger that the term soft skill was a term. I mean, what it is was there, but we didn't categorize it in that term.
Right.
So go ahead and tell everybody what it is before we start talking about it.
Soft skills are those skills that you can't really teach in a academic setting, or you can teach them, but they're not a academic class.
Right.
It's relational skills. One of the things that we've heard over the past year talking to employers in our area is that if when we say, what can we do for you?
It's soft skills.
That's exactly what
we
say.
hear too. I think it's everywhere.
That's exactly what they say. And soft skills would be conflict management, conflict resolution,
even communication,
being able to how to present yourself, how to dress, the idea of being on time, the idea of interview skills, how to talk about yourselves. Very simply, our students today, not just North Jackson students, all students
everywhere,
tend to look down at their phones a lot. I know that surprises you.
Oh, no.
But encouraging them to make a little eye contact with folks, engage others.
They don't like to talk to people.
They don't like to talk to people.
I mean, they really, don't. They would rather
Sure. It's much more comfortable to
because if you don't even know the person.
Thumbs. Right.
I was talking to somebody the other day, and they were talking about how they have a boyfriend that they've never met, but they're really boyfriend and girlfriend, and they've been boyfriend and girlfriend for months just through social media. Right. I mean, they can see pictures of them, but they've never had to have physical
We stand
space.
At the front door every day at North Jackson High School, and there's 2 words that we say, good morning.
I do that outside of my room, and they're
we say good morning, and so now, this is a small thing in some ways, but now if I don't say it, certain students will say it to me. Good morning, Mr. P. That's what I'm saying. So, that's what we want to see. We want to see them with some heads up, making eye contact, and you know what? It makes the culture more positive when they're that way too.
It does, and they know that we care then.
Exactly.
So, yeah, soft skills are such, and I told him to get me off of this quickly because it's such a big thing. But that's one of the things I teach in my business classes is soft skills and how everything in life is related, personal relationships, jobs, everything.
It is.
If you don't know how to communicate to somebody or get your point across, so it is. And like you said, almost every employer, their number one thing is.
That's what they say.
Soft skills.
That's what they say.
So, I mean, and we learn it, but it was a different time then. So, okay, so you got this really cool program called the A+ program, I guess. So, and then you said that it's an advanced placement program?
It is.
Okay,
yes.
And is it just What grade levels?
All right,
11 and 12, maybe?
Yes, it's actually something that's new for us at North Jackson High School. A+ College Ready, A+ College Career Ready is a program in Alabama where a school can apply to be part of a grant.
Okay.
And once the application process not only includes our high school but also our feeder schools, because A+ College Ready in Alabama, it involves training 6th through 10th grade and providing curriculum for 6th through 10th grade to prepare students to be able to take AP classes, advanced placement classes. So there is this A+ College Ready Alabama promotes the A+ classes and taking those classes. Now, so we're excited about that for a couple of reasons, and one is that if we want to academically and educationally raise the bar for our students,
right,
and raise the expectation level of each other, of our teachers and our leaders, we have to be able to know that we're teaching the same standards, right, and the same at similar pace,
right,
and that's what AP is going to provide for us. Every 6th through 10th grade teacher will receive not only training but also a curriculum and some pacing guides. Now, pacing guides tend to be a bad word in education because a teacher thinks that you're going to tell me how to teach and you're going to tell me.
I like pacing guides.
Exactly when and what. But what we do want to do is to say, this is what we're going to teach and this is when. But you have creativity as to how.
Right.
So what we don't want to take creativity and because teachers are some of the most creative people we have, and we don't want to take that away. But at the same time, we want to be able to say, if you come from either one of our 3 feeder schools, that we know that you've been exposed to the same content and at the same pace.
Right.
The same learning map. And I like the term learning map better than pacing guide because it is that learning map that everybody moves on. So with the goal eventually to offering advanced placement classes at North Jackson High School.
So you do not currently have any advanced AP classes?
No, we do not.
Okay.
We will offer 3 this next year. We'll
What
offer computer science.
Okay.
We'll offer AP language and AP biology. And if it was just to offer the classes, I would be less excited. But being part of this program allows us to say, how do we prepare them for the classes? Right. So if you just throw those out there, a lot of the concern is it's a very challenging course.
Well, AP is not
absolutely
not challenging. I mean, that's a dull negative.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's what it's meant for. It's
absolutely
college level.
It is more rigorous. It is free to take the class. If a student passes what they call gets a qualifying score on the AP exam, they obviously get the college credit.
Right.
And that is something that we certainly want to happen. But what we believe, what I believe, is that once we raise that level of rigor, not just in 11th grade when they take the AP class, but also in 6 through 10, that they'll be able to pass the class. But what we're finding as I'm learning more about AP is that it's also about that rigor that helps them prepare for college or for career, regardless of whether they actually get the AP credit.
I was just thinking, I mean, it's going to prepare them for life.
Absolutely.
Not necessarily just for the AP test.
Sure.
But for life.
Sure.
I mean, if you don't know how to listen, you don't know how to study, you don't know a time frame in which to do it in, or even how to get up and study when you need to get up and study. That's all part of.
Right.
I mean,
and what I would like just personally to say is that this is not an idea that teachers aren't doing their job, that we've got to change every way you're doing things. But what this does say. For instance, to give you an example, if you have a student in band You don't want the band director in high school does not want the middle school band teacher to teach. He or she has an idea of what they need to learn all along. Same with sports. And if you have a head high school coach, they're going to have an idea of what this student needs to learn in 7th and 8th and to prepare them. So we have to look at that as education leaders today and make sure that they're meeting certain standards as they go through junior high in order to be prepared to progress like they need to in high school. So what this is going to do, what we would call it horizontally aligns us, meaning that we know our 6th grade and our 7th grade at all 3 schools are moving on that same level. So then we can do a better job at being vertically aligned when they get to high school and making sure that they're getting the same content. For instance, if we offer 2 Algebra 1 classes, how do we make sure they're getting the same content with 2 different teachers? It's very important in making, to me, in long-term growth and growing over a period of time and academically.
Well, and just as you were talking, if the middle school students don't come over with a certain set of skills, whether it's English, history, science, or anything, then they're not going to be ready for your high school teachers. And then they're going to be behind, and then that teacher has to spend time to so it is a big deal. And
A+ also is going to provide several things for our teachers. They provide, part of this grant provides $600 per teacher, even down through the 6th grade,
for whatever they want,
for use in the classroom.
That's nice.
So if part of this curriculum requires certain books or certain activities, they can use that money and go out and purchase. For our AP teachers, they will receive actually $2,500 for use in their classroom. So those 3 will receive that. So it's part of a grant in Alabama that we've seen. I believe it's 176 schools now have become part of the AP program, the A+ program in Alabama. We're excited to be one of those. It's called a program school. They evaluate us basically and tell us whether we need to be a pipeline or a program school. A pipeline would be, we're going to try to get you to where we're going to try to get you there to where you can get to do this. But program says, hey, we know you've got what it takes. And, so they invited us to be part of this year's cohort in Alabama. So we're excited to be part of it.
That's really good. So we're going to take a break, but when we come back, you have a new class this year.
Yes.
So we'll talk about that new class when we come back, and then we'll wrap it up with any clubs or sports that you've got going on. Right. So we'll be right back.
NL Tax and Bookkeeping is ready to serve all of your tax needs. Nancy Anderton's been serving the tri-state area since 1978. Now you can get your taxes prepared with no out-of-pocket expenses. Ask about up to a $1,200 refund advance. It's fast, easy, safe, and convenient. NL Tax and Bookkeeping is open 8:30 a.m. till 6:30 p.m. Eastern, Monday through Friday, and 8:30 a.m. till 2 p.m. Eastern on Saturday. Questions about the Affordable Care Act? We have those answers too. And we offer a free form price comparison. Experienced and professional tax services. NL Tax and Bookkeeping. 500 Alabama Highway 73, 7 miles from downtown Trenton. Call today at 706-657-4758 or 256-597-2829. NL Tax and Bookkeeping. 706-657-4758 or 256-597-2829.
Innovation and quality. 2 things you don't normally hear about in a recruitment ad, but you'll hear a lot about innovation and quality when you join the team at Vanguard National Trailer. Vanguard is an industry leader in the production of dry van trailers and composite plate trailers.
And right now, Vanguard National Trailer is hiring energetic and hardworking team members to be assemblers and welders, as well as industrial maintenance for first shift openings.
And you'll work a full 40-hour week in 4 days, which means 3-day weekends. And overtime is available. Working at Vanguard National National Trailer has other great benefits too, like paid holidays, paid vacation, medical, dental, vision, and life insurance, plus a 401k plan.
Full-time work, 3-day weekends, available overtime, and great benefits. That's Vanguard National Trailer.
Fill out your application today. Vanguard National Trailer is an equal opportunity employer.
Apply in person today. Starting pay $10 to $14 an hour, depending on position. Vanguard National Trailer Corporation, Highway 11 North, turn beside the Primary Healthcare Center on Vanguard Drive.
At First Southern State Bank, putting you first is our priority. First with convenience, with branches in 6 great communities: Fort Payne, Rainsville, Scottsboro, Higdon, and our Stevenson office, now recently enlarged and remodeled. First with our friendly, experienced staff, always helpful and ready to serve. And first with our mobile on-the-go banking. Our mobile app is fantastic, user-friendly, secure, and free. So whether it's online or in person, you're our first priority at First Southern State Bank. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
All right, welcome back to This Week in Jackson County Schools. I'm Pamela Stone, and we have Mr. Paradise with us. He is from North Jackson High School. Did I get that right?
That's
North
right.
Jackson High School. And you're 9th through 12th, and you have about almost 500 students, 470. So we've been talking about a lot of really good stuff and life skills and how to apply them at school. And so we just got talking about soft skills, but now let's talk about some of the fun things. So you got a new class this year. Right. I'll let you tell them that, and then we can talk about the clubs and the sports that you got going on. So what's your new class?
Mass media.
Okay.
And
what does that do?
Yeah, mass media class is one of their focus. We've actually done 2 of those. One of them focuses on video, and one of them focuses on print media. We obviously value video, but we also value print. And we have a teacher, Nia Stivers, who just actually moved to North Jackson from North Sand Mountain High School. Nia is a resident of Bridgeport, which is one of our communities, and she has led our mass media class in developing a school newspaper this year. And it's just been it's been a learning experience for the students. The students interview, students write, and they interview people in the community, they interview people in the school, and of course she, being a language arts teacher, supervises and leads in that. And their newspaper is called The Spear, which I really like that title, obviously related to our Chiefs. And she has done a really good job, and what I like about that class is that it allows students to learn by accident. They learn soft skills because they have to interview people. They have to look people in the face and ask them questions.
Sure.
They learn how to write, and she is critiquing and evaluating their writing as they go. And basically, they're doing that without necessarily doing a typical writing assignment. So what they have done this year in a very short time, as a matter of fact, is join with the North Jackson Progress, which is our local paper. And that section, they have a section of that paper which is called The Spear. They print it for us, and so it's become not only something that they do, but also, again, community involvement. They've gotten out and gotten involved with one of our long-standing community members, Mr. Glass, there at North Jackson Progress. He and his family have served our community by doing that local newspaper for a long time. So it's really neat for our kids now to be working with them and doing something that makes us proud, gets our message out, and they learn at the same time. So it's been really cool.
That is really cool, and it brings the information to the community, which again is tying in that community.
Absolutely.
It's tying in that community. So okay, and then so clubs and sports.
All right, very active at North Jackson High School. We have a very active beta club. We just had
and for people who don't know, that's like a volunteer.
Yeah, it's a service organization whose focuses on academic standards, service, and community service and character and integrity of their personal character and integrity.
Yeah, and do they have to have an application filled out by another teacher or staff member to say that they're good?
They do have to meet certain standards that and then apply for membership. And their application for membership involves a character behavior component as well as academic. Last year they competed at the national level. They go to the state convention and compete in different activities, and then because of winning at the state level last year, they traveled to the National Beta Convention in Orlando during the summer. And were successful there as well. So we have a large number of students involved. Again, very good teacher leadership. Those things don't happen without teachers offering their free time.
I was going to say, it's free.
Yeah, absolutely. And our teachers, we had several teachers go on that trip last year during the summer, take their time away from their family and invest in our students. And being a teacher, that there's nothing more valuable than that. Students value that. They see that. And I think it's important to brag on our teachers for that. I think that's one thing in general the community does not typically see if your child's not involved in that activity.
They may not know that we do it for free either.
That's exactly. They may not know that.
I mean, I do Future Business Leaders of America, and it's all my time.
Absolutely.
I went to stayed overnight. All of my time was just I love the kids. I like to do it. So it was free too, but I don't think anybody else really knows that.
I think you're right. I don't think they see that. They see that, whatever 7 to 3, and they see that time off in the summer or whatever, and they don't realize that very often, teachers are giving their evenings, working ball games or working other events or volunteering, doing the clubs. So yes, and Beta Club is very much that way. These teachers have taken a lot of it takes it. We have 200 plus students involved.
That's a lot of students.
It's a lot. And the activities they'll compete in at the state level would be, skits, dance, singing, things of that nature. We speaking, public speaking. We have a student a few years ago, before I came to North Jackson, who was the state Beta Club president. And this year we have another student who is applying for the state.
It's a big deal, too.
Yeah, it's a big deal. I walked in on her the other day practicing her campaign speech. It's pretty cool.
It's a lot of work for those kids. And then it's more work for the advisor.
You're exactly right.
Because then they have to. I had a state officer once when I was teaching high school, and you travel even twice as much with your kid.
You do.
So you do. So all right, and then you have Mu Alpha Theta.
Mu Alpha Theta is it's a math honor society. One of our math teachers leads that.
How do you get into that?
And that is that does require some. Obviously, some interest and some skill in math. You gotta like it, yeah. That is unfortunately something I probably would not have qualified for.
I was going to say, what was your favorite subject?
In
Not math?
It wouldn't have been math. Mine would have been history. But yes, and another activity that's very interesting this year has been we've added 2 sports, cross country. Is a new sport for us, and I had a person come to me, Mr. Holman, and want to volunteer to be the coach again, offer their time for free. And cross country is relatively new in our system, and North Jackson was one of the more recent schools to add it.
Okay.
So that's new, and we've had one student actually sign a scholarship in cross country this year, first year.
Awesome.
Very good. And very interesting sports related story. We have 2 students this year who become they wrestlers. They wrestled as young when they were younger.
Right.
They came to North Jackson in high school and have not wrestled any time in their high school years and wanted to start back. So basically our head football coach volunteered to be the coach, because you got to have a coach there.
Right.
Regardless of whether you knew anything about it or not, you got to be there to supervise. Right. They basically took what they already knew, Their dad was involved with them. They practiced against each other. They're twins, twin brothers. They're juniors. One of them won the state championship in his weight class. The other one was a runner-up in his weight class. So, a very cool story of two students who are willing and capable, work hard, and so we had a wrestling team this year of 2 people at North Jackson High School.
Hey, it's all it takes, right?
That's right.
That was good. Well, thanks for coming on today.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Really appreciate it. We talked a lot about a lot of good stuff. And hey, if any of you parents have any questions, you can always call the school, and they'd be glad to help you out. And any volunteers, schools always need volunteers, and then they also need community volunteers for money, because we can always use more money.
Always.
So. All right. Well, thanks for coming on. I appreciate it. We'll see you next week on This Week in Jackson County Schools.